Hey everyone, this is Akida Ripinovi. I hope you all are fine. Today's topics are robbery and dacoity. In this video, we will discuss what are those elements of robbery and dacoity. Then we will explain those elements with some example. And next, we will go through section 392 to section 396. And next, we will discuss some cases of robbery and dacoity. So first, we will discuss elements of robbery. Before going into that, we need to know what is theft and what is extortion. I have already made videos on theft and extortion. So I will suggest you to watch those two videos, then continue with this video. So first, we will know when theft is robbery. In order to prove that a particular theft is robbery, we need to prove some elements. In fact, 3 elements. First, we need to prove that all the elements of theft are present. Then we need to prove that in order to prove such theft, he attempted or caused hurt, death or wrongful restraint, or create instant fear of hurt, death or wrongful restraint. And thirdly, we have to prove that he did that in order to committing of theft or attempting to commit the theft or carrying away the property. So these are the 3 elements which we need to prove in order to convert a theft into a robbery. Now we will discuss when extortion is robbery. In order to prove that, we need to prove 3 elements. First, we need to show that all the elements of extortion are present. Then we need to prove that there was an instant fear of death, instant fear of hurt and instant fear of wrongful restraint. And then we need to prove that the victim was present where the event was occurred. If we can prove these 3 elements, then we can say that that particular extortion is converting into a robbery. Now we will see 2 examples where one is theft is converting into a robbery and the next one is extortion is converting into a robbery. So the first example, if A takes B's mobile without B's consent, and in order to taking it, he wrongfully restrained B. Here first all the elements of theft are present, and here he also wrongfully restrained B in order to commit such theft. So it will be said that it is a robbery. Now we will see when extortion is robbery. For example, X was going to Cox's Bazar. Y came into his path and put a gun on his head and said him to give him all the money he has. So here extortion is there, but here 2 extra things also there. Which are those? First, he created an instant fear because he put the gun on his head. Here it is an instant fear, and the victim, who was B, was present at the situation. So all the elements of robbery are present there. So it will be said that there was a robbery. Now we will see what are the elements of dacoity. In order to prove dacoity, we need to prove 3 elements. First, we need to show that all the elements of robbery was there. Then we need to show that the persons committing the act were not less than 5%. And then we need to show that they were acting conjointly. If we can prove these three elements, then we can say that there was a robbery. So as for example, if 5% try to rob a bank conjointly, here it will be a dacoity, because there was 5% person and they act conjointly and they try to rob the bank, so robbery was there. So these are the three elements which we need to prove in order to proving a dacoity. Now we will discuss some cases. The first case we will discuss today is Emperor versus Chandar and others. The fact of the case is some dacoits attempted to commit dacoity, but their attempt failed for the arrival of the villager. After arrival of villager, dacoits were trying to escape and they abandoned their intention to rob. At the time of escaping, one or more of them killed the deceased. Here the issue before the court, whether under section 396 all of dacoits will conjointly be liable, or under section 302 only the person or person actually taking in part in the killing will be liable. In the Penal Code 1860, section 396 deals with dacoity. On the other hand, section 302 deals with murder. Both the sections incorporate human killing. As here human killing was happened, so as a matter of fact there was an issue whether it will be dealt with section 396 or it will be dealt with section 302. The court held that as the murder was committed when they abandoned their intention to rob, so it would not be a murder for committing dacoity. So court held that only the person actually taking part in killing would be liable. So the opinion of the court was that they should be made liable under section 302. The reason was they abandoned their intention to rob. So it would not be a murder for committing dacoity. The next case we will discuss is Sitaram versus Emperor. In this case, court laid down the following principle. A dacoity begins as soon as there is an attempt to commit robbery. A shot fired in order to keep off the rescue party and allow the theft to be committed is an act committed in committing dacoity. According to this case, the murder need not have been committed for the specific purpose of obtaining property by theft. We have already discussed that robbery is an aggravated form of theft, and when 5 or more persons conjointly commit robbery, then that robbery convert into a dacoity. So here in this case it was an aggravated form of theft, because here a shot fired in order to keep off the rescue party and allow the theft to be committed. And we also said in the discussion of elements of robbery that in order to commit theft, if a fear of instant death, instant hurt or instant wrongful restraint is created, then that theft will be a robbery. Here a shot fired in order to keep off the rescue party. So here instant fear of death or instant fear of hurt was created. So it will be a robbery. and here the murder need not to be committed because the section doesn't require to fulfill that condition. The next case we will discuss is Shyam Vihari versus the state of Uttar Pradesh. Here the dacoits were running away without collecting any booty, and when they had gone a considerable distance from the house where the dacoity had been committed, one of the accused killed a chaser Mendai in order to free other accused who had been caught by the chaser. Here booty is the property which was obtained by dacoity. Here also in this case a question arose whether it could be held that the murder was committed while committed dacoity or it was a separate murder. Here the separate murder means the murder under section 302. On the other hand, murder committed with dacoity is dealt under section 396. In this case, the court had given an extensive opinion on this particular issue. In the first case, court didn't give an extensive opinion, but in this case, court did it. Here the Supreme Court did not think it necessary to express any definite opinion and left the question open. Observation was whether murder was committed while committing dacoity is a pure question of fact and of degree, not to be determined by any general rule, but by the special circumstances of each case. In deciding whether murder is separate or distinct from dacoity, the following facts are helpful and deserve consideration. First, whether the dacoit retreated without plunder and the murder was committed while retreating. Second, the lapse of interval between the attempt of dacoity and the commission of murder. Third, the distance between the place where the attempt of dacoity was committed and the murder was committed. And fourth, whether the dacoit abandoned all the booty and the lapse of interval between the abandonment of the booty and the commission of the murder. So court determined this question, and answer of these questions will determine whether the murder is committed under section 302 or the murder is committed under section 396, which is dacoity with murder. Now in the present case, in the light of the above principle, judge recall that the dacoits were given a hot pursuit by the villagers immediately after the commission of the loot, and second, they were overtaken at a short distance. Third, there was an encounter between dacoits and the villager. Fourth, the dacoits had not abandoned the entire booty before the murder. In these circumstances, I am not prepared to agree with the learned counsel for the appellant that the transaction of the encounter and murder should be treated as separate and distinct from dacoity. I agree with the session judge that murder was committed while committing dacoity. The next case we will discuss is Queen Empress versus Shakaram. In this case, the villager confronted the dacoits from the beginning and dacoity was not successful. The dacoits attempted to run away, and after going a few yards they turned round and one of them, to intimidate the villager, fired a gun. The shot wounded 3 of the villagers and killed Rama. The learned Chief Justice held that it has been found by learned judge, and I accept his finding on this point, that the murder was committed in effecting a safe retreat. So that the question is whether the retreat was separated by time or space from the offense which formed the common object of the assembly as not to form part of it. This, it is obvious, is a pure question of fact and of degree, not to be determined by any general rule, but by the special circumstances of each case. In my opinion, there was no such separation. The retreat was an essential part of common criminal purpose. It was a continuation of the actual dacoity, while the dacoits were still acting in concert and so closely and necessarily connected with the actual demand of Khand, that I think it must be taken that the murder was committed in prosecution of the common object of the assembly. Here court said that if the dacoits commit murder at the time of retreating, then it will be a dacoity with murder. And the court also held that it is pure question of fact, not to be determined by any general rule. Any general rule cannot determine whether it is a murder under section 302 or it is a dacoity with murder under 396. The circumstances of each case will determine under which section it will be dealt with. And this is all about the cases regarding dacoity and robbery. Now we will go through section 392 to section 396. Under section 392, when a person commits robbery, he will be punished for rigorous imprisonment for 10 years. But if a person commits robbery between sunset and sunrise in the highway, then his imprisonment may extend to 14 years. Under section 393, when a person attempts to commit a robbery, his punishment will be rigorous imprisonment for 7 years. Under section 394, when a hurt is committed in order to committing a robbery, he will be punished for imprisonment for life or rigorous imprisonment for 10 years or with fine. Here the difference between section 392 is here hurt is committed in order to committing the robbery. Now we will discuss section 395. Under section 395, who commits dacoity shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for 10 years and with fine. Under section 396, when a dacoity is committed with murder, he may be punished with death, or he will be punished with imprisonment for life, or he will be punished with rigorous imprisonment for 10 years or with fine.